Hello everyone, in this video I'll be breaking down the top 25 best console mods in Baldur's Gate 3's Mod Manager. So I want to do an updated version since we got a lot of new mods, and I'll just dive right into things not to waste anyone's time. The first one I want to cover is the Custom Companions Light mod. This is one that's been requested for a long time, and we finally got it. This allows you to make your own full party of whatever you want. Previously you had to have multiple controllers and you could only make 2 at a time, but this gives us the compact companion creator, which are just going to pop down onto the ground here. What this will do is it summons in a character, and then we get to go through the character creation process and make them exactly how we want. Now people are saying, how is this different from hirelings? Well, you can make a full party of dragonborns and you can't even make a dragonborn hireling, so that's one of the biggest differences there. Do not select any of the heroes there. You got to make a custom character yourself. So you can go through, it's got the full customization here to do exactly what you want and make the hero of your dreams here. So go ahead, you got the full customization. So really you can do whatever with this. And then once they're done, you just go and name them. Just skip past the guardian. It doesn't actually make a guardian for them. It just focuses on making a new hero altogether. So once they're in, they get added to your party, and there you are. You got yourself another companion. So if you want a full team of halflings, a full team of dwarves, a full team of dragonborn, you name it, you got it. So this is really fun for a variety of reasons, but just great for those that want to have more companions. And with some of the other mods, you can actually have upwards of a 16 party size. So with some difficulty mods, you can actually make these battles extremely epic. Also, these outfits that I got on the characters right now, these will be covered as well if you're wondering. So yeah, the first one, Custom Companions Light mod made by Adrian T, 1978. Fantastic mod. Next, we got ourselves the Ancient Mega Pack plus REL random loot mod made by Permanov. This one adds 600 plus new items to the game, and it almost makes the game like a roguelike because it'll randomize all the items in the game. Where this becomes really useful is sometimes, you know, if you're on playthrough number 5, you know exactly where all these items are going to be. With this mod, it's you have to go out and try and make builds based on the items that you get. What's also cool is it will randomize all the quest rewards here. So anytime that you turn in a quest, you won't get like the Sparky points or the Jolt Shooter anymore. You'll get a variety of different items to choose from. There's also a distant enchanting and crafting gear section, which is actually mind-blowing for something like this. You can also forge crystals and empower your weapons. There's a full guide that'll be in the tutorial chest that shows you what to do. But a lot of these items are very unique and actually feel like they could have been made by Larian themselves. So you can check out the full mod page for even more details about it, but it's mostly just randomizing loot, 600 new items, and there's a bunch of changes that are constantly updating and making this mod even better. Some of the cool things that you can get, some special arrows that are a little bit different from, you can see there, Astral Storm skill. So that's a completely new skill, cool VFX there that you wouldn't see in anything else. This is a new crossbow that sucks things in, the Astral Plane crossbow. Frost Conduit Ring. There's a lot in this mod. It's amazing. Highly recommend giving this one a shot because it just adds so much new stuff to the game, especially if you're on multiple playthroughs and you want something a little bit different. Our Ancient Mega Pack plus REL will help out with that for sure. With all the randomness, it just makes it for a fun playthrough. You'll never have the same playthrough twice. Next we got, speaking of gear mods, I'm just going to follow up with this one here. This is another really great one. This one doesn't randomize loot, so Fade's Equipment Distribution by Graphic Fade. What this actually does is this mod acts as kind of like the chest, and then you add in more mods that are going to disperse the loot throughout the world. So this will give random, or not random, but different locations for all these items. They have different mods here. So you got like the Wands and Weave. So this is, I'm going to count all these as one. There is multiple here, so just bear in mind with that. So you got like Wizard, Monk, Cleric, Ranger, Rogue. There's one for every single class in the game. We are missing Paladin as of right now, but by the time you may watch this, it may be is uploaded. Who knows? It's already on PC and it's likely coming very soon. But there's also some for the Absolute. So if you have the brand of the Absolute that you can get in Act 1, you can get some special gear for that. Yeah, this is just another amazing mod. I've actually done a video. It's 50 minutes long where I cover every single item in this. It's very long, but if you wanted to see what all these items are about, you can check that video out. So yeah, just wanted to give a shout out. Fade's Equipment Distribution. This is awesome. One of these two mods will give you endless amounts of fun. Next, we got ourselves, this one is cool, the Debug Book. So this basically gives you a book that you can do a ton of different stuff with. So you'll go into your inventory and you'll find the book here, the Book of Debugging. So you just go ahead with using it. So you can make it so that it can teleport you straight to Act 2. So if you just want to completely skip Act 1, you got a new character, you can skip that, or you can go right to Act 3. You can add or remove companions. So if you wanted to add, let's say you missed getting Minthara, you can go ahead here and recruit Minthara, which is pretty cool. And then you can also you can send them to camp here, so out there. So yeah, there's a lot you can do with this book. It's pretty funny, the amount of content that you can get out of this. There's also things like you can get romance. You can go for different approval, so you increase your party's approval. Set to 100 means they are liking you quite a bit. So it just really depends on what you want to get out of it. You can make yourself in a relationship with different heroes. So yeah, there's a lot there's a lot going on with this one here. The bug of debooking literally just lets you do so much from the game. Go to regions, miscellaneous cheats, so you got things like level up, give yourself gold, god mode, give yourself tags, so if you want to have warlock tags when you're not, skill checks, add thieves tools, low attitude dialogues, add inspiration points. There's a bunch of useful spells here, so you can knock out a person, speak with the dead, etc. Yeah, there's a lot going on with this mod, so I just wanted to give this one a shout out because it's got some serious awesome stuff going on with it. So yeah, the debug book made by a Rukun guy there, awesome mod, just great for multiple playthroughs. And next we got ourselves Random Spawns Comprehensive Difficulty Boost. Now, Trials of Tav is a mod that's on PC that turns the game into a roguelike. Unfortunately, it's not on console, and I don't think it'll come due to the complexities of console modding. However, we got ourselves this mod here, which gives us an item that lets us actually kind of do Trials of Tav. So you get the bag of overwhelming chaos there, which gives you random spawns, Insanity's Kiss, Dream Mist, and the Mysterious Elixir. So basically what this will do is you drink this and it's going to give you some selections here that you can go ahead with. So you got like an arena mode, you got random spawns. You can turn this on, it'll make spawns come at very random times. Ability mirroring, so you can make those enemies you fight learn spells from you and use them back at you. Combat spawns, you can make it so that it spawns more enemies when you're in fights. Random buffs will give random buffs to the enemies that you spawn, and difficulty increase will make them even more challenging. So this is a pretty crazy mod because it adds a bunch of fights into the game. I'm not going to cause this now because it literally will start. It makes basically what it does is it creates a ball on the ground and then it spawns in random enemies that you'll fight. This is cool because you can just turn it on and just roam around the world playing as you normally would, and then have a bunch of random fights come at you. It's fun, it's chaotic, and I really enjoy this mod because it just adds a new layer of complexities to the game, especially if you're looking for an experience similar to Trials of Tav. You can make it so it spawns enemies really quickly, and a lot of them. I do want to mention it does require you to have Gabe's Auto Depositor mod as well, so there's two mods kind of that's required for this one. They've also made a lot of other cool things like treasure goblins that will hopefully come to console at some point, but with this one, very fun, new ways to experience the game with a bunch of random fights. Next, we got ourselves a Scratch Overhaul mod. So this makes it so that you can level up Scratch, he'll avoid traps, he goes into a down state, speaks, search toggle, and much more. So this mod is made by Catlix here. What's cool about this is it makes it so that normally when you have Scratch, he goes down pretty quickly, and he's not too strong, level 2. He's a goodest boy, but he's not strongest warrior. This makes it so that he's a strong doggo in combat, but also you can level him up and he pulls his weight in terms of combat. So I really like this mod just because Scratch is goodest boy. I think that goes without saying. It's fun to have a dog that can go along and level up alongside you. He's not going to be overpoweringly strong, but hey, it's nice to just have Scratch around and not have him be kind of weak. This improves his strength. Next, we got ourselves the Ring of Summon More. This is an amazing mod. So basically what this does is it gives you this little hermit crab item, which gives a ton of different spawnable companions. So these are just summons. So you can summon in like the Dark Urge. You can summon in Mizora, Raphael. So what this will end up looking like, so you get a summon here. They'll have whatever health they normally would have. Raphael's got more than the normal amount of health. This is like a weaker version, a weird version that can't actually attack. But with these, you get a ton of different characters you can spawn in and help out with fights. There's planar allies, which adds actually some of the ones that are already in the game. You got monsters, so if you wanted to fight the hag, like you fight in Act 1, a Bulette, a Minotaur. I went over all 300 of these in a video, so you can check that out on my channel if you're really curious. But you can literally summon in things like the Apostle of Mercule. So if you wanted to have this as your summon, if you're playing like a necromancer and you wanted to have a crazy choice like something like this, yeah, you can literally summon in the Apostle of Mercule. So this is super cool. I have to shout this one out just because there's so much that you can do with this mod. It's pretty much endless. 300 different summons in this. So when you think about it, that's a lot. And you even got your companions here, so you can add in Ketheric Thorm, who was supposed to be a companion at one point. They ended up having to cut it out due to time. You can get Isabel, Dame Aelin, Gortash, Orin, and many more. Viscount of Fear. You name a character, it's probably in here. Again, I covered this in full detail in a separate video, so if you want to see every single summon in the Ring of Summon More, you can check out that video. TG Live made this mod. This is so cool. I love summons, and I think you should give this one a shot as well. Next, we got ourselves extra encounters and mini boss made by Relamod. I love this mod because it surprises you when you're on your subsequent playthroughs. So it's going to add different fights. So you got this skeletal dragon in Act 2. You got the Avatar of Lakith. You got these aberrations to fight. You got this fight, which always surprised me, right outside the Underdark or outside the Grimforge. It makes it so that you never know what's going to come because a lot of these fights are just added into the game. So it actually has a map on the mod page. So if you're on console, you can just check this out. It'll list where the mini bosses and encounters are on the map, so you can go hunt them out and enjoy the new fights that this mod brings. There's a ton of it, and it's being updated somewhat frequently. It's being updated from time to time to add more fights in, but they've been working on some other mods as well. This is just incredible though, because you can see there's so many new fights that you can go through in the run of a game. But if you want to see all of them, they are just listed in this in the mod page itself. More enemies, more fun. I really enjoy this mod. Extra encounters by Relamod. Next, we got ourselves a Cheater Spell Scroll, formerly a Cheater's Ring. This is another mod that is super hefty in terms of what it does. So you probably have seen this mod before. It was one of the first mods that came out, but it's constantly updated. So it recently had this new update a couple months ago where it gave it so you can AI companion, make your companions AI controlled. So it makes it so that you can set like an archetype if you want them to be a melee attacker or a spellcaster. You can set their AI and they'll attack without you having to command them in battle. So you can just control your own character. There's a ring that'll give you passives. You can respec your character for free. You can alter approval ratings. You can unlock all waypoints. You can do a revival, resurrecting all characters. You got a bunch of different cheat spells, so like increase movement speed by 30 meters with Cheater's Long Stride, Cheater Darkness. This is another cool one, the Cheater's Animating Spores. You can reanimate any character that you fight. So if you kill someone, you can reanimate them. This does have some issues though with certain story related characters, so just a little heads up on that. But you can literally summon in, you can revive any character you see. It's perfect for a lot of different builds too. You can assume a Slayer form. You can clean everyone in your party. That one's actually very useful. And another really big thing is you can summon in the tutorial chest, and you can also summon in a bunch of different equipment boxes. So if you wanted all the armor in the game right at the start of the game, you can summon in the armor box or the weapons. This one's just very useful for a variety of reasons. It's a cheating mod, so just keep that in mind. But a lot of people find this is very useful for many different reasons. So yeah, Cheater's Ring. I love it. Mods made by Zelphos there. Next, we got ourselves Mistress Spells. Now, this is a video, or this is another video or topic that I've done a video on where it covers every single spell, but adds 135 new spells to the game based on Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. So if you're playing as like a sorcerer, you can get things like Chaos Bolt, which will do a random elemental damage type you can throw at them. You got cool spells like Ashellard and Stride, which is like it's a dash attack that leaves behind fire damage in its wake. Very cool. There's also Tidal Wave, which can set up water and knock targets prone. You got different summons. You got Steel Wind Strike, which is a very popular 5th level spell, which does a lot of force damage. Bunch of different summons here. There's level 6 spells that you can summon. Some psychic spells that didn't make their way into the game. With this mod, you can also summon in a dragon to fight alongside you. You got Green Flame Blade, the cantrip, Booming Blade, which is coming in patch 8, Toll the Dead, which is also coming in patch 8. And there's my video that I covered talking about Mr. Spells, so you can see that in further detail if you'd like a little bit more information. This mod is made by Random Killa. It's fantastic. Next, we got ourselves another mod by Relamod. This is more enemies in our basic fights. So this will make it so you level up a bit quicker. But for example, in the Goblin Camp, normally you fight 1 ogre. This makes it so there's 2. In the Nautiloid, sometimes normally you fight 3 imps. This makes it so there's 6. So this increases the amount of enemies in certain fights of the game. I find it to be still pretty balanced. I am a big fan of getting more things to kill and fight. So this mod is great for me and a lot of other people. That's why I had to include this. This is kind of like a bonus one in a sense, I guess, but it is similar. We got ourselves the extra encounters, and this just makes our already base game encounters even more difficult. So with both of those mods, you'll probably level up and hit level 12 at the very early parts of Act 3, so just a little heads up on that. There's also mods that'll change the XP So the XP rebalance here. This one isn't currently on console, but it'll hopefully come soon. But there is other XP balancing mods. It's really nice just to be able to play through and not have to worry about becoming over leveled. And I guess speaking of over leveled, unlock level curve. This is a mod that lets you go from level 13 to 20. I've actually done like 50 builds, approaching 50 builds of level 20 guides on my channel. So if you're looking for level 20 builds, you can check out the channel. I got a bunch of them in a separate playlist. I know people really enjoy the level 20 mods, but there's something that I'm going to touch on in just a moment with, as far as difficulty mods to help balance this out, because when you get to level 20, let's just face it, if you got 12 levels of fighter, that's 3 attacks. You can add in like the Gloomstalker Ranger for an extra attack on the first turn. You can add in the Rogue Thief for 3 bonus action, or free bonus action. You can add in the War Cleric for bonus action attacks. You can become crazy with this. However, there's ways to balance this out. And I just want to touch on one other mod here. So the adjustable party limit size mod. So this mod makes it that you can increase your party size. So you can see here, I have a large party size. So it'll actually let you go across and see the, yeah, you got all the different characters there. And this is just great. Another mod that just increases the value of playthroughs, because when you have 16 party members, like sometimes you just want to have everyone with you. And with that, I also recommend Tactician Hands. Both these mods are made by Pixel Blades here. So on the opposite end, this makes it so the enemies are more challenging. What's cool about Tactician Enhanced is it's actually also based off of this mod. So if you increase your party size, let's say 6, you can make it so Tactician Enhanced will give an extra action or bonus action or more health, or all 3 whenever you have set amount of 10 team members in your party. So there's a scaling mode and a static mode that you can go to. So static will just straight up make them have X amount more health. With this, you can actually change it. There's a lot of 11 plus presets there. Also compatible with every difficulty mod. So if you wanted to use something like the random spawn generator, you can use it alongside this. There's a passive that you get that'll toggle on and increase the overall difficulty. So this one's awesome. There's some enhanced features that they're working on. Hasn't been updated in a little while, but they'll hopefully get that to that at some point, because there's a lot that goes into making some of these mods, like a difficulty mod like this. I love this because it makes the game a lot more challenging. Sometimes you just want to have a challenge when you're playing this game, and Tactician Enhance allows you to do that. It'll also work in honor mode. Just want to make a little note on that as well. Next, we got ourselves the Nightmare difficulty. So this is following up. This was actually last updated a day ago. So the Nightmare difficulty mod, turn up the artificial difficulty of the game that redefines enemy AI, crafting encounters that are not just harder, smarter, but more dynamic and deeply rewarding. So it enhances the enemy's AI. Enemies will now think tactically, prioritizing the high-value targets, coordinating their attacks, and adapting to your strategies. So smarter archetypes. Melee fighters, aggressive and relentless. Melee attacks will strike a perfect balance between calculated risk and brute force. Ranged units will prioritize high ground and going after specific targets. Then spellcasters will become masters of debuffs and crowd control. From my time using this mod, it makes them act really smart, and it's almost frustrating at times, and I think that that's perfect. So yeah, it has those different archetypes. They improved their targeting strategies, dynamic positioning. They'll get into better positions, and they're aggressive, but not too aggressive to the point that they're overextending. So yeah, you can just download this. I think this mod is pretty awesome. So the Real Zier made this mod. It actually goes alongside Tactician Enhanced. If you really want to make things very difficult for yourself, especially if you're using some of the others like adjustable party size and level 20 mod, this is perfect just to help balance out that difficulty. And speaking of, I guess, new ways to experience the game, we got the Vampire Origin new mod. So this one just made its way to console. Lord Preston has made a few other ones, like we have the regular Vampire Origin. This is an enhanced new version of it. There's also mods like the Werewolf Origin, which unfortunately is not on console right yet, but potentially we'll see it maybe at some point. There's things like Werewolf, Shadowheart, Dark Urge, different characters. So this one makes it so that Shadowheart becomes the Dark Urge. They have a lot of other cool mods, but I guess I'll just focus on the Vampire Origin here. This gives a bunch of different buffs. So you get a Vampire Bite, which is similar to the one that Astarion gets, which can make you happy, and you can become a spawn or a full vampire. You have Vampire Claw, Gaseous Form, Bat Form, Dark Vision, Necrotic Resistance, Radiant Vulnerability, so you take double damage from Radiant and Fire damage, Sleep and Charm Immunity, Musical Instrument Proficiency, Restore Your Humanity, Power in the Shadows, gives you advantage on attack rolls whenever you're in the darkness there. Bestow full vampire power, Extinguish Torches, you can put out all torches that are nearby. Restore Humanity, Embrace the Darkness, Become the Dark Urge, and Extinguish the Flames. And there's also, if you become a Vampire God, you get a +3 bonus to Strength Dex, basically all your stats. Then there's also the Summon Wolf spell that you get, and Summon Undead Companion. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into this mod, and I just wanted to highlight that Lord President's done a fantastic job with making this a fun to play class mod. They also have their other vampire one. This is their newest one. I think it's a little bit better, so you may as well go with this mod if you really want to be a vampire. Next, we got ourselves the 5E. I guess I'll be getting into class mods here now. So this is the 5th edition fighter subclasses combined mod. This mod is made by Sumer Dagnoth. They also have made the barbarian subclass, so we'll just pretend these are both. So I'll just touch on all the subclasses you get with this. So the first one, we get the Banneret, the Purple Dragon Knight. This is the older version of the Purple Dragon Knight. They just made a new one, which I covered a build on, which actually lets you summon in a purple dragon. This is more so a buffing class. They also got the 5th edition fighter subclass, the Brute Fighter, the Cavalier Fighter, the Psy Warrior Fighter, the Rune Knight Fighter, which empowers their attacks with runes, the Samurai, and the Sharpshooter. So this is amazing. I really love this class mod. And in addition to that, we also have the Path of the Ancestral Guardian Barbarian, Path of the Battle Rager Barbarian, Path of the Beast Barbarian, Path of the Juggernaut. I actually posted a build for this last night, and Path of the Storm Herald, and Path of the Zealot. So you got a lot. They got cool abilities that come with each of these. We'll hopefully see the monk subclasses combined come soon. I'm surprised it hasn't made its way there yet. And potentially the ranger subclasses and their newest, the Purple Dragon Knight, which I've done a video on if you want to check that out. But yeah, massive fan of their fighter subclass combined. Sumer Dagnoth has made a lot of great mods. They're also in my Discord server. Link is in the description if you want to join that. Next, we got ourselves the Mystic class. Now, this is the most downloaded class mod with 1.1 million downloads. What's nice about this is there's also an expansion pack to this mod. So the Mystic Expanded will give you even more choices. So when it comes to the Mystic, there's all these cantrips here to choose from. It's a lot. There's like Mage, Mystic Hand. You got Psychic Hammer, Mystic Charm, Mind Thrust doing psychic damage. The Mind Slam knocks targets prone. You even got Energy Beam, which you can choose an elemental damage type. And then all the different psionic disciplines. There's 63 of these. Yeah, they each give you a ton of spells, as you can see here, that use different amounts of psi points, which is the resource you use to cast with. What I love about this is the amount of choice that you get with it. So you can actually build anything you want. I really like the Master of Time with the acceleration zone. Basically makes a haste zone that you can set up for your team to get extra actions from. Master of Ice is also pretty cool, but there's so much to enjoy about this. Also with the, if you get the Mystic Expanded mod, you also get all these different subclasses. So you get the Order of the Avatar, Awakened, Immortal, Nomad, Blade, Ascetic, Wu-Gen, Soul Knife, Unbound, and Exorcist. I like the Exorcist because it lets you create little summons that you can bring in, and you can make like a mage summon that's like a wizard basically. It's really cool. There's so much to do in this mod. As you can see, all these different psionic disciplines just allow for some very cool build guides. I have some builds actually on the Mystic too if you wanted to check those out. Psychic damage probably going to be the best from this because that's where it kind of focuses on. But yeah, Zevo and the Mystic class is one of the best class mods. But we'll get into my personal favorite with the Arcane Vanguard. This mod just recently had the Dervish rework, which I did a video on yesterday as well, touching on all the different changes. Sathos has done a fantastic job with this mod. They're constantly updating it. As you can see, it was last updated 3 days ago. They are always working on updates, and they always share them in my Discord server, so you can, again, check the link in the description if you're curious. But basically, this is a Gish style build. So that's a weapon attacker with some spell casting. They also just recently added the Helionaut. It's not on console just yet, but it will likely come at some point once Larian tests out the newest update. So at launch, they released the Eldritch, Judgment, Sentinel, and Dervish Vanguard subclasses. Since then, they've added the Ice Quiver, which is my personal favorite, which is a bow user that infuses their arrow attacks with Ray of Frost. There's also the Grave Knight, which is kind of like a undead knight. The Helionaut, which is the fire undead knight kind of build there. They got a ton of unique fighting styles. It's not showing that properly. So basically, whenever you choose this, you get so much option here. So yeah, you got all the different cantrips. It uses Mistress spells as well. So you got all the fancy things that come from Mistress spells. And then here's the fighting styles I was talking about. There's a ton of them. There's a bunch of different passives that you get to choose. Now, the thing that I love most about this class is it's not overpowered. It's actually balanced, which is crazy because there's so much choice here. You'd think that with that amount of choice, you'd actually get to be overpowered, but it's not overpowered at all. Actually, it's actually pretty balanced amongst all the other subclasses. I love it. It's a lot of fun to play around with, especially having Mistress spells for some extra combat, kind of utility you can mix up and mash different things together with. Yeah, I have a lot of good things to say about the Arcane Vanguard. This is actually my favorite subclass mod, or favorite class mod in the game. There's just so much going on with this. It's an absolute blast to play. So I highly recommend downloading the Arcane Vanguard. Next, we got ourselves the Mind Weaver. This is another one that's very similar, not similar to the Arcane Vanguard, but it's an intelligence-based, kind of a multi-caster type subclass. So you get the Psionic Warden, which is a psychic damage one-handed weapon user. The Forest Blade, which is a heavy armor force damage based class. The Astral Seer, which is a cold and psychic damage caster. So you get some cool cantrips and spells like Ethereal Beam doing psychic and cold damage. And then like cold magic missiles, you got Psionic Orb, like a radiant psychic version of different attacks here. You got some healing. And now as you continue to level up, you get a bunch of different effects. There's the unique cerebral enhancements here. There's the Void Reaver as well. I guess I should touch on all the subclasses. This is a two-handed weapon fighter, also kind of psychic damage focused. Aetheric Strider, which focuses on psychic bow attacks and then necrotic weapon attacks. I love this subclass too. This one's really fun. It's about zipping around the battlefield doing the two different types of damage. There's also the Frostveil Sage, which is a cold damage focused caster, but it's also like a monk. It does unarmed strikes that can do cold damage on your punches. I love this. It's one of my favorites as well. This one actually surpassed the Mystic in terms of downloads, which is kind of wild. This one got released a little bit after. They're also constantly updated. ZX10RX, fantastic job with the Mind Weaver. You can see here all the unique spells that come with it. There's a lot. There's quite a bit, and there's always something new to enjoy about this subclass. So I highly recommend this. If this looks like something that's up your alley, definitely recommend it. These are some of the best class mods in the game. Console got lucky with getting some of the best ones. You can see there's just so much that goes on with this mod. And to follow it up, I'm going to cover the Oakheart Sentinels version 2 mod made by Nightly_ST. Love this mod. So basically what this mod is, if you've played older editions of Dungeons and Dragons, the Druid was a little bit different. This makes it so it's restored to that glory. So when you select the Oakheart Sentinels here, you got all these different subclass choices. So there's the Spring Keeper, the Sun Watcher, the Lore Seeker, the Fey Shaper, Fall Reaver, and Frost Weaver. Very cool. Comes with a bunch of different cantrips. Again, Mr. Spells compatibility. I love that there's mod authors putting in a lot of this work. Nightly is also my Discord server. They're a great person, and yeah, always happy to help out with others that are into the modding community there. But yeah, this is also nice because the Oakheart Sentinel gives you the Oakheart's companions or a Ranger's companion, so you get basically a choice between their own unique ones and the basic ones that you get from like a normal Ranger. So this is where it makes the Druid so much better, because this kind of adapts like the older of what a Druid was like, where they had a bit of melee, they had a bit of spell casting, and they also have a summon here, which makes them very valuable as a character to play as. This is another class mod that's very well balanced. So if you're looking for something, the Mind Weaver, Arcane Vanguard, Mystic, and Oakheart Sentinel is definitely some of the top ones. We'll just be focusing on one more subclass mod, but yeah, if you like the Druid and want something of a new flavor, even if you don't like the Druid, you'll probably like this one. It's a very fun class, so highly recommend that. Next, we got ourselves the Dread Overlord Warlock mod by the Dread Overlord. And I've done a few different builds, as you can see on this. I love this subclass. It's got level 20 support, which actually lets you summon in this skeletal dragon once you hit level 14, which makes it great for multi-classing. Some classes, like the Bard, level 6 Bard, mixed with this, you become a melee beast. It's very, very strong. Big fan of it. The Dread Overlord made this mod, and basically what we're looking at, so it's an actual subclass for the Warlock. You can see you got necrotic armaments adding necrotic damage to your attacks. You can reclaim undead. You can create crawling claws. This is a little summon that can help out with fighting. Shield of Souls, and then you got all these different abilities here that you can buff yourself up with. You got, obviously it's a warlock, so it only gets the limited spell selection, but your spells recover on short rest. It also has some new benefits if you're to take different packs. If you go pack the blade, you can add your necrotic armaments to your attacks. If you go pack to the tome, you get some different spells. If you go pack to the chain, you get some different summons. You get Andrus the Devil Dog. So there's a lot of cool stuff with the Dread Overlord. I've covered it in builds previously, so if you want to see it in actual action, go check out one of these videos. There's a lot going on with the Dread Overlord, so definitely recommend that. It's a lot of fun. The next mod I want to cover is the Origin Mirror Unlock mod made by Unmoon Sick. There's been a couple of these that have been popping up. Now, what this does is it'll let you go ahead and change your companions. So if you want to make Gale look like that for some reason, you can do it. It also lets you only change the origin companion. So that's Astarion, Karlach, Will, Shadowheart, Gale, and you can't unfortunately change Halson, you can't change Jaehaera, you can't change Minthara. Just want to put that out there because I get a lot of questions regarding that. Unfortunately, it's only the origins. However, this is still an advancement, so maybe we'll see something different down the future. Now, there's some issues too. So let's say Shadowheart has her blonde hair like this. It won't let you do anything to her. It actually overrides it. Same as Will, if he's got his horns, it'll actually override any changes. So if you have any mods that remove that, it'll actually let you change. And same with Shadowheart. If you have a mod that makes her hair back to normal, it'll remove that. Or if you just don't go through with those changes. So this is good for a lot of reasons if you want your companions to look a little different. But there's also the custom companions light mod that you could go with. So it's entirely up to you. Next, we'll finish off with the character creation mods, because there's actually a few good ones here. The first one I want to touch on is the hair collection mod by Tepcoonset. So you can see here you got a few different hair options, what this ends up looking like in actual practice. So you go to your hair selections, it's going to have these snowy kind of look to them. So you got things like, some of them are very different from what we already got in the base game. Some of them are kind of mashups of different things from the base game. So there's quite a bit going on. You got the ponytails there, you got the split hair color if you want something like that. You got this here. Let's quickly go through all the hairstyles. This is the one that I was using at the start of the video. There's some cool ones here. It's nice just to have some different customization. There's also the NPC hair unlocked mod, which will give you all the different NPC hairs. So you can go with something like that if you want to. Something a little bit different. These are the best hair mods currently on console. There's not a whole lot. Hopefully some of the other ones, like not that one, but some of these here that I use on PC, hopefully these will come to console at some point, because these ones are really nice. But yeah, that's the hair collection mod by Tepcoonset there. Next is P4's Bangs Bangs Everywhere, and by extension K's hair extensions mod. So what's cool about this is basically it adds a bunch of different pieces if you want to customize your hair. So this is like, there's no Tav's hair salon on console. This is the next best thing, because it gives you so much customization in how your character's hair looks. So you can basically make your own. I know these look kind of funny with how I have the hair set up. I get it, but there's so many other ways you can make the hair look nice. So this is perfect if you want to make your own unique kind of hairstyle here. And with the, I guess this is K's hair extensions mod, and the Bangs Bangs Everywhere. I don't know why it's not showing up for me here, but basically you get all these options here to add bangs to the front of the hair. So K's hair extensions and P4 Bangs Bangs Everywhere by Padme 4000. Amazing mods. And we also got ourselves Faerun Colors mod. So this is a nice one because this gives us a ton of different dyes. And what's nice about this is you can also literally go ahead here with the 89 different colors. It's very, there's just so much you can change. Like, it works well on the base game outfits, but you can see here that it's very nice on a lot of the modded outfits that we get. So this here just made it all red and black. It's awesome. So I'm kind of pairing this together also with the Fear Taylor's Camp Clothing mod made by Fear Taylor. This gives us a ton of different options for outfits. So you can see there's a lot of different ones here depending on what you want your character to look like. So 586 different items as of this moment here. I get asked often what mods I'm using. This one has pretty much everything you want. I know there's the very popular ones, Mercule here in particular. So like the Mercule armor. Mercule is scandalous. This is probably the most popular one for a reason there. There's also like armor and stuff like that. So you get the Mercule armor here. It looks cool. Unfortunately, I just removed it there. I guess that one doesn't work properly on our character. This one will work properly. So Mercule armor there. Yeah, there's a lot. 586 different pieces. You're going to take a lot of time looking through all this, but that mixed with Faerun colors makes it so you can make the character of your dreams, and that's what role-playing is all about. So let me know your favorite mod that was covered in this video. I'll be putting the links for all of these in the description as well, so if you have any questions surrounding them, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll try to get back to it as soon as possible. Hit the subscribe button below if you found this video useful, and I'll see you all in the next video.